Tinubu will win Southwest in February. It is a waste of time to argue with ignorant people. Adeyanju. A well-known Nigerian human rights activist, Adeyanju Deji, has predicted that the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress (APC), Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will win the entire Southwest region in the forthcoming presidential election in the country. According to a tweet he made on his Twitter handle, he stated it clearly that Bola Tinubu will win Southwest region in February, making it known that politics is very deep. Speaking further, he stated that it is just a waste of time for him to argue politics with people who are ignorant politically or who are displaying blind emotions. On several occasions, Adeyanju had urged the opposition political parties to unite if they really want to defeat APC in the forthcoming presidential election in the country. Going with what Adeyanju Deji has just said here, it will be very difficult for any candidate to defeat Tinubu in the Southwest region because he's from the Southwest region. But nevertheless, we must wait till next so as to see the outcome of everything. Well, first of all, the Osun State elections just disprove what he said. Not trying to say that APC would not have its sort of dominance or market or popularity and influence, but we really looked forward to the Osun State elections because given the hype and given the previous interactions that political parties have had with each other, this is the first time we actually get to see all the political parties interact and compete. So there was a lot of pressure as to the outcome of these elections because, words have been flying around on who has a structure, who's going to be in office, and knowing, with the emergence of the Labour Party and with Tinubu backing the APC and the PDP, there's just been so many factors to consider as to the outcome of the Osun State elections. Therefore, there was a lot of expectation as to given that it's the first elections or main ones to come, Nigerians maybe just wanted to see or have an insight as to how, on a bigger scale, how are these parties going to do? What dominance do they have within Osun State? And of course, with Tinubu's, presence and being the official candidate for the APC and his backing, and obviously with the rallies and the words and everything that be flying around, we wanted to see what would actually happen. And the Osun State elections have just disproved what this gentleman has said, because they did not win. And in fact, they lost by a pretty huge gap. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean we underestimate anything, but I think we should be careful. I said those who support their political parties should be careful of making certain statements that, your results don't back your statements. So I think we should still be very much, humble for now before we start to predict what is not. Tinubu is the winner of 2023 presidential election, not only Southwest, by God's grace. Osun is a pretty much big state. It sort of gives that insight. There are more state elections to come, but if they weren't able to win, it does, give that possibility that maybe they could actually lose. The potential is there because they've just lost. So it doesn't necessarily take APC's defeat isn't out of the picture yet. There is still a possibility given what Osun State elections have proven. But it's the confidence that they have. The man has an APC. If that is what he believes, that it's great for him. It's a waste of time to argue with ignorant people. That statement is very... who's more ignorant? APC supporters or the rest? I'm very much confused because, given your candidate, what he represents, and the kind of people he attracts, and then you look at the factor of ignorance, I guess you can judge for yourself. But again, it's just statements. Deji, you are too arrogant and forcing yourself to be omniscient and selfish. I agree with Deji here, politics is not mathematics. It's not mathematics because it's not logical and straightforward. What do you mean? I mean, even with mathematics, you do get to manipulate. I mean, look at algebra and, having unknown figures, or what is unknown, but having the outcome. So you're trying to find, again, in maths as well, there is a lot of manipulation. The higher you go, the more in depth you go. You even start to deal with the negatives of numbers. So, and you even get to a point you start dealing with imaginary numbers. So, again, even in mathematics, manipulation is there. You just have a situation where in this country, people are willing and are so desperate to play very dirty. I mean, very dirty. So, what can you say about that? It wouldn't. So when you say some mathematics, again, it isn't 2 plus 2, but it definitely is complicated simultaneous equations and quadratic equations. If you're about to say it, the complications are there when manipulation is involved. And again, as I said, you have people and parties that are willing to play dirty. They don't care how low they go. In fact, there is no bar, there is no standard, so anything is allowed. You are indirectly campaigning for Tinubu. Of course he is. I mean, what they intelligently do, I wouldn't say intelligently do, I think they think Nigerians are not as smart, is you indirectly support a candidate by bashing and other candidates and saying, because again, the thing is, when you highlight differences between yourself and another party, it doesn't really make you look good. It means you're not focused on yourself and why you're better. You're focusing on why another person is worse than you, which for those that are gullible and willing to listen to anything, it may work for them. But those that are willing to actually criticize and analyze and think for themselves, it's not the best tactic to use. So it is what it is. You're confident, but your results do not back what you say. And if you're still willing to be confident after that, well, it's your prerogative. A Muslim ticket will work against him. Okay. No candidate will defeat Tinubu in the Southwest. Forget about the Osun election. Well, there has been, you don't understand why these, I mean, we can't use the Osun state elections to officially predict what is to come. But given the activities and the intensity of conversations and the words that have been thrown around by the APC and the PDP and the emergence of the Labour Party, there was so much, all eyes were on these elections because this is where we actually see the parties compete and interact. So if there was a lot of pressure to deliver and they didn't. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.